D Block Express, Roll something, Spark something. Welcome aboard the D Block Express. So the internet's buzzing right now. They talking about the best ever, right? When it comes to point guards, when it comes to just players, period. Okay. Even the GOAT had to chime in. Michael Jordan himself had to put in his word about it. Gilbert has a strong argument. Okay, if you haven't seen it yet, go check out Gilbert Arenas. Always dropping gems. You know, you want to hear about somebody who put they all into the craft and got the most out of it. Gilbert even said, I made over $171 million, and it was mainly because of his work ethic. You know, he was also a great player, but a lot of people want to remember Gilbert as the guy who brought the guns to the locker room and not really giving them the credit for studying behind Kobe Bryant. All right. People were quick to say Kobe, but you also have to give credit to those who actually listened to Kobe and paid attention to what he said and used it for their own craft. And that's what Gilbert Arenas has done. That's why when he talks, you pay attention. Okay, regardless on the gun incident, it has nothing to do with his skill set and how he played the game or read the game, right? But let's talk about the best of all time, okay? When it comes to the greatest of all time, we're going to do basketball because boxing's a little bit harder, you know. Football is probably in the same boat as football is harder too because you don't get to play all the positions. Basketball, you could really make an argument for who's the best of all time. They used to say, how come basketball players get paid way more than NFL players? And the reason is because unlike football, you can take one player from a basketball team and put him on another team and make that team great. One player you can do that with. Yeah, you got your Peyton Manning of the world. You got your Tom Brady's of the world. But it's still more of a team effort. You got 11 players compared to 5, right? So that one player could change the entire organization compared to the NFL. You could take Champ Bailey in his prime and put him on another team. Doesn't mean they're a high caliber team, right? But you take LeBron and put him on any team, and it could end up changing that team all around. So that's why NBA players get paid way more than NFL players. But let's talk about the greatest of all time, okay? Because I have to put my 2 cents in, and you guys can chime in. Let me know what y'all think about who is the best of all time and why. Don't just say it and then, yeah, he the best, I'm done. Tell me why he's the best of all time, okay? The thing about the greatest of all time, right? Jordan said, well, I can't be considered the greatest of all time. He might say something different. I got to go do my research nowadays. But at the time when they used to ask him all the time, do you think you're the best of all time? He used to say, I don't know, because I didn't get a chance to play with, you know, the Julius Ervings of the world or the Bill Russells of the world, or, you know, the Jerry West's of the world. So he doesn't really consider himself the best. And I think that was a fair argument, a fair, you know, answer. When it comes to the best of all time, at least for basketball, the player, because you heard Steph Curry come out and they asked him, they said, Curry, you think you're the best of all time, the best point guard of all time? And he said, yeah, I think I'm the best. And then Michael Jordan came in recently and said Magic Johnson was the best. These guys did a poll to list their greatest point guards of all time. And some had Magic. Gilbert had LeBron, you know. I have Zeke as one of the best of all time. I don't have him the greatest point guard of all time. But, you know, he's up there, right? He's definitely top 5. But when it comes to the greatest of all time, I don't think a player can state that they are the greatest of all time. right? For instance, when LeBron said he was the best of all time, LeBron, when he said it, the room got mad quiet. He was like, that play right there made me the best of all time. And the room it was like an awkward moment, because it was like, nigga, you're not the best of all time. Jordan's the best, right? Right? Or it was like, motherfucker, you doing too much. You can't sit here and say that you're the best when there's so many greats that have done so much before you, right? The Oscar Robinsons, the Will Chamberlains of the world. You haven't scored 100 in a game. You ain't got no triple doubles close to Oscar Robinson, right? So people were looking at LeBron like the boy was crazy, right? The problem with it is it can't, when it comes to the best of all time, it has to be from a fan perspective, right? When we say you're the best, it has to come from either those who have watched you and can say you have done things that I have never seen before, okay? Because as a player, when you're playing the game and you do a simple crossover move and it makes somebody fall, somebody can say, I've never seen somebody do that before. But to you as the player, you're probably like, man, it's just a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing new about this. You see what I'm saying? So it has to come from a fan. Now, I said before in one of my videos, at least for boxers, I said, diehard boxers are not diehard fans. Okay? Meaning, we might think a certain boxer is the greatest of all time. Another boxer might not follow boxing as deep as we do and might not consider that player the best, that fighter the best of all time. When it comes to basketball players really, they watch the game, right? And they have been there before, okay? It's like, if I'm a science teacher, okay, and you're a history teacher, what are you to say that I'm not the best teacher in science of all time? Because you're not even in the field. How are you to say this, right? You could say, oh, I've studied under so many science teachers and this is what's correct. Okay, you can start making an argument there. But if you're completely not even in the field, right? You haven't even done research or followed anybody else in my field. How are you going to tell me I'm doing this wrong or I'm not the best, right? When it comes to basketball, the greatest of all time has to come from a fan's perspective. Now, there are diehard basketball players and there are diehard basketball playing fans. Or player fans, whatever you want to say. So that's why it's easier to say Jordan is the best of all time, because we have seen what Jordan does. When Jordan finally came into his element, because a lot of people, they shit on the bad boys, but not realizing it was, and Jordan said this himself, if it wasn't for the bad boys, Jordan wouldn't be who Jordan is today. He wouldn't be this heir apparent to be above all high that we know him for. It was because of the bad boys why Jordan became who Jordan is, okay? You wouldn't know that unless you did your research and listen to Jordan say that. Also, go and watch the Bad Boys documentary, 30 for 30. A lot of people who are diehards of the sport realize it was because of the bad boys why Jordan got into that weight room, why Jordan put on that muscle, why Jordan ended up getting that. He always had it, but really turned on that drive. It was because of the Detroit Pistons. The best of all time, I have Michael Jordan as the best of all time, okay? Point guard wise, I don't think Curry can say I'm the best point guard of all time. Curry, like, when it comes to point guard, the first thing I think of is swinging the ball or a nice-ass pass to somebody who was open. You don't really know Curry for his passing, correct? You know every other point guard for the passing that they've done. Yes, we know the point guard also for his scoring. But as far as the passing, the assist mode, people really get their assists off of Curry. Meaning, if I pass it to Curry and he shoots, I get the assist for it. That's what Curry's known for. Not so much Curry passing it and becoming the assist king, right? We also don't know Curry that much for steals. A lot of the point guards, Allen Iverson, Zeke, a lot of these guys were known for their steals. You don't really know Curry that much to be pickpocketing people and taking it all the way down the court and scoring like that. So, and then I think it was just, you put me on the spot. Every NBA player believes they're the best at what they do. So it would be an insult to say, no, I'm not the best, Why am I playing this game if I don't feel like I'm the best, right? That's what he said. It's the truth. So I understand where Curry's coming from. But when it comes to the best of all time, it has to come from somebody from the outside looking in, right? If there are other NBA players that have played the game, that have done what Curry has done, meaning make it to the NBA, meaning see something that they have never seen before, especially being in that field, and then say Curry's the best, and then say LeBron is the best? Okay, I'm doing my research now. There's a lot of people out there who can make an argument that LeBron is the best of all time. LeBron is doing things that Jordan did not do, okay? I said it. Meaning, people are coming out, NBA players now, not just fans, right? NBA players are coming out and saying, LeBron, his mindset to the game, because it's on another level. You got to remember, LeBron had a chance to come into the league when he was 18 years old, 19 years old, right? So not only did you come in earlier, you came in 4 years prior, okay? Then Jordan came in. Jordan came in, I think 22 years old after college, right? So, was it 22 or was it 19? I forgot which one. No, it was definitely, Jordan came in at 21, 22 years old, I believe. So, I made an argument. I said Jordan was the best of all time. People in the barbershop, ballers now, right? People who actually pay attention more to the game than I do, were saying Jordan's better, or we're saying LeBron is better. And I was trying to make an argument why. And my argument was, well, LeBron came in earlier, so he had an earlier step on becoming the greatest compared to Jordan, who had to go through college to do it. And their shot back at me, their rebuttal was, well, Jordan went to college because he wasn't good enough to go straight from high school to the NBA. And I had to rethink it. Not only that, I had to really listen to these other NBA players talk about LeBron. LeBron is so good. Let me tell you this. And like I said, I believe Jordan's the best. But let me tell you how good LeBron is. The scoring titles, the championships, going to a different team and making that team absolutely, he started from the ground up. He came in going to the worst team and then coming back to that team, making that team a championship team. But they said LeBron will go out on the court. You never heard this shit about Jordan. Go listen to NBA players. Type in NBA players talk about LeBron. Listen to what they say, man. They said LeBron is so good, he will go out on the court and tell his opponent, nah, dog, you in the wrong spot. You lining up in the wrong spot. spot right now. Listen how great that is. If I go out in the court and I notice you are not lined up in the right spot, I ain't telling you shit. I ain't telling you a damn thing. Right? Oh, he ain't lying in the right spot. Give me the ball. Hurry up. Right? But LeBron is so good. Not only did he tell the man, you're in the wrong spot. I'm telling my opponent now, right? The guy who's going to shut me down, the guy who wants me to lose. I'm giving him food for advice while playing against him. You know how good you have to be to do that? That also shows that LeBron knows where everybody, of course he knows where his teammates need to be, but he also knows where your teammates need to be. And then still beat you. Not only did I tell you you're supposed to be over here, now you're in the right spot, and I'm still going to get around that spot and score on you. That's how good LeBron is. LeBron would say some shit like, you would ask him about a play. Go do your research on LeBron. I'm not just talking out my ass. Go do your research. You would ask LeBron about a certain play in the game. You know, you're talking 60 minutes that have gone past, and there's so many plays that have happened, right? You tell LeBron or ask him, so LeBron, you know, when J.R. Smith shot that ball or shot this or did this, what do you think happened? LeBron would tell you, well, you know, J.R. Smith was lined up on my left. I had this guy on my right. The coach was about 3.4 centimeters from the bench. The ref was a little bit back from my right, but he was standing on my right heel. He'll go back and tell you where everybody on that particular play that you're asking was at that particular moment. You don't hear this about Jordan. You see what I mean? And that's why, honestly, even talking to you guys now on this video, LeBron has a strong-ass argument to be the best of all time. He has an argument, right? Kobe has an argument because of his rings, and Kobe's work ethic as well. But Kobe will tell you what you're doing wrong, right? But he won't, if you're playing against him, Kobe's not going to tell you what you need to do to be correct. Where LeBron will and still beat you at your own game. It's not like he was like, yo, you're lining up in the wrong spot, and you were in the right spot, and then he cheated you out of where you were supposed to be, right? He's running down the court behind Klay Thompson telling him, you better not miss this layup. You got the steal. We're both running. You better not miss this layup because you know who's going to win the game. That's huge. That's not cocky. It comes off to me because I had to deal with this a lot about being cocky and being confident. LeBron is 1,000% confidence. He's not cocky. You see what I mean? There's a big difference. They said LeBron, at one point, the coach wrote up a play, right? Who's going to take this last shot? LeBron said absolutely not to the head coach. Took the playboard. Erased what the coach put on there. Marked up his own play. And said, we're doing this. The coach shut the fuck up, and they ran what LeBron wanted to do. That is pure greatness. You would never hear a story about Jordan taking the playbook or taking the whiteboard from Jackson and writing up his own play, right? Jordan technically, and that's hard because I grew up in the Jordan era. I saw what the man did. How you have two defenders on you, you scoot around both of them and then dunk it on the number one player when he did that to the Knicks. I saw that with my own eyes live in 1993. Shit was fucking amazing. Absolutely incredible. Right? Then you got LeBron jumping over motherfuckers. Completely over. I've never seen Jordan jump over somebody before, right? So you gotta, so as a fan, right, who really watches the game, I can make an argument to say why LeBron is the best. I just gave you guys a bunch of reasons why you could say LeBron is the greatest of all time, right? LeBron might be the greatest point guard of all time. Not only does he dictate where everything needs to go, he also tells you where you need to go and knows if you're in the right or wrong position, whether you're on his team or not. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. And I came straight out of high school. I was good enough to come straight from high school and go play with the greatest of all time. Jordan cannot say that, right? So when it comes to Curry, when it comes to Magic Johnson, Gilbert Arenas' argument is top-notch. Magic Johnson, you came to an all-star team already, and then they added you. You didn't have to go to no Cleveland first and build yourself up and then become this great player that we know you to be. You not only came to the Lakers, you stayed there your entire career. You had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You had James Worthy. I mean, come on, bruh. My Lord. You know? So, to be the best of all time, it has to come from a fan's perspective, what other people in your field have said to be the best of all time. My shit says your phone is too hot. Let it cool down before using multi-windows. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Who you feel is the best point guard of all time? Who you feel is the best player of all time? I asked my nephew, I said, who's the best player of all time? Now he says Jordan because I told him Jordan. But when I first asked him, and he loves the sport, you know, he said it was LeBron. He had LeBron being the best of all time. What the hell happened to my... They must be using my screen right now. Yeah. So, let me know what y'all think. All right. Other people in the field. Mayweather's the best of all time when it comes to boxing. I say that because Oscar De La Hoya came out and said Mayweather was the best. You're talking about somebody who is an arch nemesis. Somebody who can't stand you. Somebody who beat you at your own game. Right? When you brought them to your weight class. Somebody who dominated the sport. Undefeated. Unblemished. Got the most championships of all time. Has defeated the most champions in history. Has the best hit to not get hit ratio of all time. Look at Oscar De La Hoya's face when he has to admit it that Floyd was the best of all time. He said, I'm convinced. He said this after the Mosley fight. Go watch the Mosley press conference because he didn't see Floyd ever overcome adversity at that time until he got that hit from Mosley. He said, man, he shook his head like, man, I have to admit it. Floyd is not only the best fighter right now, he's possibly the best ever. For somebody that you are in competition with, in the ring and out the ring, business-wise, right? I'm pretty sure if you said, Oscar, we'll give you all of Al Haymon's fighters. His name was Chris. If we gave you all of Al Haymon's fighters, you have to take back Floyd being the best of all time. Would you do it? He would definitely say yeah. But because you can't, we're in competition. I'm defeated. I'm convinced Floyd is the best of all time. This came from someone else who actually did what Floyd has done, who has been to the mountaintop, right? Who is in the same field. Oscar can come out and actually say who's the best, who is a fan of the sport. But that's just my take on it, man. D Block, let me know what y'all think, and I'm out this bitch.